Good morning. I want to make a video this morning of something I'm going to make, and it's going to be made out of parsley, and so I'm going to go out and get some fresh parsley. And by the way, we did take the screens off, and I'm tasting some of this, so when it gets a little bigger, I can start putting the babies in my salad as I thin it. Okay. And I don't have a script when I make a video, so I always forget a lot of things. And I wanted to say on our sharing day, when we had them, those lunches, when we had them, there was about 20 people. Now, all of them weren't the helpers, but sometimes an extra one or two would show up, and it made a really fun day. But the most comments I heard was Tom was one tough old man, which in our 60s, we weren't old. And the other comment was, we want to do this next year, put us on the list. So that was what I was hoping for. And people like that experience. Not every day can you get that. And it sort of shows, it's a little bit of history, how people used to do it. And also, I wanted to say, I don't know if you can see my chickens down here, but there's Doodah. Now, I said about farm animals, they're raised to lay eggs. And yes, we do cull them out and we do put them in the stew pot. But there's two of them that have probably, for the better, sealed their fate, because I doubt if Doodah and Cocoa Puff will ever make the stew pot. They'll be grandmothered in forever until their end of time. But anyway, I'm going to get my parsley now. And I want fresh, so you can't get fresher than this. And let me tell you about parsley. Don't be afraid of chopping up the stems, because that's where most of the flavor is, if you really want to know. Okay, and we can't get much fresher than this, and that's about all I want. So I don't know how to describe how much this is, but you'll see what we're doing. So we're going to go back in, and when it rains, it makes lake patio. And so we have these these walking planks here for a reason, because the water comes up sometimes level with these. In fact, these planks, have floated away at times when it gets really deep. But I am enjoying the rain and so glad we're getting it. Okay. And back we go. Now, what I'm doing today is I showed how to make my mayo in a jar, and I talked about thinking outside of the box. Well, I had a subscriber who thought outside of the box, and I want to show you what she did, and I haven't done it yet, so we'll see if it works for us. Okay. Now, I'm not going to wash that because it rained on it. Couldn't get any cleaner than that. Okay. Now, before I put my egg in here and my spices and whatnot, and then I put my oil, and these ball jars and maybe others have marks on the side that tell us where the cup is, and we're to use a cup of oil. So I'm going to put the oil in first, then all the other things. And I want to talk about oil. I have two kinds of olive oils here. I've got my extra virgin, which is quite tasty and robust, but it can make your mayonnaise bitter. So I have another one that's lighter and mine is called Sweet and Fruity, and it works. So this is the one I use for mayonnaise, not this one. So, okay, first of all, we're going to put in 1 cup of our oil. And remember, in the traditional ones, we always drip the oil in afterwards. But we're going to put it in first. We're going to measure it out just like our subscriber suggested, which was much easier than I was having to guess sort of when I got to the cup. But this will be no guesswork. Okay, there's my cup of the right olive oil. And now, before I made it with the mustard and the turmeric, but today I'm going to make it with parsley. And I just want to read some things about parsley. I don't know if that's suggested right. And parsley, according to my healing spices, is good for heart, or it helps heart disease, diabetes 2, on and on, some other stuff. But I'm going to read about the heart disease. Noting that parsley is used in Morocco as a traditional medicine for heart disease, a team of Morocco researchers tested its effectiveness in reducing platelet aggregation, the blood thickening that triggers the artery plugging blood clots that cause most heart attacks and strokes. Parsley reduced platelet aggregation, I hope I'm saying that right, by up to 65%. So we're using parsley. And then I want to tell you, parsley goes well with basil. So this summer when I'll be making some pestos, I'll have my basil, I'll have my parsley, and it's sort of a pesto combination when I make it in my mayonnaise. Okay, also goes with bay leaf, fennel seed, garlic, marjoram, mint, onion, oregano, rosemary, sage, and thyme. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to put a garlic clove in with it, and my vinegar today that I'm using has sage and oregano. Oregano and marjoram are sort of in the same family, so mine isn't mixed with marjoram, but I'll use it. So here we go. Now I'm going to put in my egg, and this egg is from Cocoa Puff this morning, so it's very fresh. And in it goes, before I put it in first, okay, I want 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, and that's apple cider vinegar that has been infused with herbs, which was sage, and oregano. Okay, and I'm going to put in pepper. Pepper goes with everything. Okay, and then I want a little more than a fourth a teaspoon of salt, so I'll put in that. Here goes my clove of garlic. Here goes my parsley that you just saw me pick. Now, have I got everything? Boy, I hope so. Now, we'll see how this turns out. And you know what? That's fuller than I usually get it when I put the mayonnaise in last. Okay, here we go. Down we go to the bottom. We're turning it on. I can start seeing it. Yes, it's doing it. Coming up a little bit. have mayonnaise or do I have mayonnaise? Yes, I do. Ooh, one thing I didn't get over here was my spatula, so I'll do that. How did it taste? Tastes good. Now, you can use a lighter oil if you have it. You can use avocado oil or a combination. Just don't use the strong, robust olive oils. And I'm not into really other oils because I don't really think they're that healthy. Okay, we did it, girls. And there it is, my parsley. And I don't know if you can see, but it's a little bit on the green tint. And actually, I've made the parsley mayonnaise before, but not with adding the oil first. And Tom just loves it. And he puts it on his potatoes, and he said it's like eating potato salad every time he does it. Okay, so that's what we've done today, and it just made it a lot easier than trying to guess what my cup was after I had all that other stuff in there. And thank you, Renee, for telling me about that. Okay, have a good day, and I'll see you on the flip-flop.